Hi everybody, welcome to the Lake County Opioid Initiative meeting. I know this is going to be a little different than any meeting we've ever had before, but I'm sure by now we're all used to doing Zoom calls and video conferences and all that stuff. So I wish we could get together in person. I know it's been a while since we've been together in person, but these are strange times that we're all still going through together, and we'll get through them here pretty soon. But for the time being, we definitely wanted to make sure we pulled the group together, if anything, just to touch base, because right now the work of our organization is needed more than ever. People out there are, even though COVID's going on, people still struggle with addiction. People need help, and in fact, they needed help. Like I said, they need it more than ever. So all the work that we're all continuing to do remains really important, and I appreciate everybody continuing to do that work in spite of all these new challenges that we're facing. So the meeting today is going to go in the same format that our normal meetings go. It's just going to be done through a series of quick videos. We'll have the different reports from the different chairs and the different committees. We're going to have a presentation from Rally, and we'll end the meeting like we normally end all of our meetings by virtually going around the room, and the different groups can report out if they have any updates or events that they want to let the group know about. Several people have sent in some short videos, so we'll do that at the end of the meeting. If you have a video or an update that you want to send that you weren't able to get in time for this meeting, please get that to Bill, and we'll make sure to send that out to the rest of the group. And in the meantime, again, I thank you for all your great work. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're safe and healthy. I hope your family and friends are safe and healthy. And I look forward to getting together again in person here real soon. Take care.
Good morning, Lake County Opioid Initiative. I'm sorry we're not seeing each other in person. I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy. This is the Treasurer's Report as of April 30th, 2020. For our balances, the Way Out General Funds has $4,827.95. Ameritrade Strategic Reserves has $40,799.40. And the Lake County Opioid Initiative General Fund has $79,976.76. Total cash in the bank is $124,804.71. For 2020, our revenue and expenses since January 1st of 2020, total income is $8,770.05, and total operating expenses $4,087.01. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Bill Gentes, the Executive Director of the Lake County Opioid Initiative. Most of you don't know who I am because you've never seen me not wearing a suit, and also with this ridiculous goatee that I'm attempting to grow while I'm at home. Also, my hair is longer than you've ever seen before. So just to give you a little bit of a background on what we're trying to do here, we do want to have a meeting. One of the things that I considered was obviously doing a conference call, which we may do next month, but I wanted to do a video where everything would be sort of self-contained and easy to watch if you didn't or you couldn't be available at that particular time, because I know we're all very busy. So this is about 35 to 45 minutes. We still have some videos coming in to record, and I don't know how long they're going to be. And we have a couple of features that are on here that actually have gone pretty well. We have some survey data. We got about a little bit over 30 responses from some survey data. While some of the stuff was silly about how many people are wearing pajamas, the other thing that was very interesting, and I would encourage you to take a look and critically think about the data, is the opioids and what we think as our group about what could be happening. Because I know one of the things we always do when we're together is we have very provocative discussions. And so that was one of the things I tried to capture with these Google Forms to collect some data. And I appreciate those of you who participated. I also asked for some comments. Those will be below in the comments. I will place those in there in their entirety. I couldn't get them all into this video. And last but not least, we're going to be doing some announcements. I've had people send me video announcements, which actually has turned out pretty good. I have two special guests who will be doing one of the video announcements for us near the very end of the video. So stick around for that. And hopefully you enjoy. Please give me feedback on what you'd like to see, what you'd like to do differently. Would you like to do a call? However you want to do it. I'm here to help. Anyway, thank you. One of the things that I always try to work on is to have some form of educational presentation for our meetings, so we can always take something away. I was very fortunate to have Rally, one of our sponsors and big supporters, the national organization, and they asked me if they could make a small presentation, a video presentation. So I was like, of course you may. So the next video that you're going to see just in a few seconds is from them and one of their partners, Code 3, who have a trailer that they use for a not in my room type of display, except this one is specifically for heroin and opioids. The presenter is Joe Abdallah, who is the executive director of Code 3, which is a non-for-profit organization. I hope you enjoy it. It'll be in just a couple seconds, and then we'll continue with the meeting.
Hi, my name is Joe Abdallah. I am the Executive Director of Code 3 Association. Over the past year and a half, we have partnered with Rally, which is the RX Abuse Leadership Initiative. We joined forces to build a 32-foot trailer as a mock of a teenager's bedroom. We then walked parents, loved ones, and educators through that trailer, showing them the signs of opioid misuse. That trailer was put together in 3 themes. We used parents who had lost kids to addiction, we used kids in recovery, and we also used first responders and police officers that were seeing the large uptick in teen overdoses in bedrooms and what they were seeing while in that location. So we usually start the trailer tour in the closet area. I'd like to begin there with you and tell you that if you're going to take on this task, please wear gloves. And if you can, before reaching into any space that we would give you a location to look into, try and look in there before reaching your hands in. It's always best as a safety procedure. In case you were to encounter a needle, which you see here in the jacket in the closet, needles are shared by IV drug users and the protective cap is not always on. I tell parents, you know your child's medical history, you don't know that of who it's being shared with. So wear gloves, and if you can, peek in there before reaching your hands. If we turn to the necktie, which is hanging in the closet, neckties, shoestrings, and belts are commonly used as tourniquets for IV drug users. Tightly tied around the arm, cuts off the circulation so it produces the vein for injection. After this is done, once the injection is done, there's always a small amount of trace blood that leaves the injection site. A lot of times and frequently when the tie or the shoestrings or the belt is taken off, they're going to start to acquire this small amount of blood, and you're going to start to see small blood or brown spots on these items. So keep an eye out for them. Also, as far as tourniquets, addiction often starts in a bathroom. Be on the lookout for a tie with a small loop in it, or shoestrings or a belt with a loop in it, found in the bathroom in an odd location. What's it doing there? Start to ask questions if you're starting to see other signs of behavior that aren't normal. We then go to the bottom of the closet where we have the shoes. I encourage parents, not only shoes that are laying loose, but shoes that are in boxes. Get into them. If the sole of the shoe is glued down, don't rip it up if it's secure, but get your hand deep into the tongue of the shoe. You'd be surprised what you can find there. It's a great hiding spot, not just for drug users, but for drug dealers. In our shoes here, we have a small knotted bag. It's actually the corner of a sandwich bag, powder placed in it, and it's twisted and tied in a knot. When it's going to be used, that knot is either ripped off with the teeth or it's pulled off and discarded as trash. And one of the most important parts of this tour, remember the trash, the indiscriminate trash from the packaging, the remnants left behind. There are a lot of times what moms saw laying around the bedroom loosely, got them in their vacuum cleaner canisters, their washers, their dryers, but kids aren't careful with them because they're trash. And as far as closets, Look at all the void spaces. Look at all the pockets in the pants and the shirts, the shoe boxes, all the other purses or compartments. Closets are great places to start. Spend a lot of time looking inside the closet. We then move to the bathroom or the trash can. If you look in the trash can, you'll see that piece of foil with the kind of tan residue. That's from smoking heroin or fentanyl or prescription pills. You can crush prescription pills and place them on that foil, as well as heroin or fentanyl powder. Place a heat source underneath and they vaporize. When they vaporize, kids will often use a hollowed pen casing. They'll suck in those vapors as they come off the foil, but you should never see pieces of foil in this condition with that type of residue in your home. To the left of that, you'll see the orange and white caps. Those are actually the plunger protector for a syringe. The needle end is much more identifiable, and kids told us that that would get flushed down the toilet or thrown away more discreetly because people knew what they were. But parents thought these were either glue caps or marker caps or some kind of wire nut. They are red flag indicators of some type of IV drug use taking place in your home, so be aware of them. And then we move up to the bathroom sink. On the front of the sink, you'll see the toothpaste container on the left. Nothing in that, just keep it in mind when it becomes important when we move into the medicine cabinet above the sink. There's black soot marks that you see on the bathroom sink to the back of the right. A spoon is probably the most common instrument used for heating heroin once it is mixed with water. You need to heat it to dissolve all the insolubles. So once it's heated, it can then be drawn up into the syringe and injected. That spoon is used multiple times a day, and each time a flame is placed on it, it gets this black charring, this black soot. Now, everywhere that spoon touches, laid on that sink, kids often get it on their hands. You're going to find it on door handles, toilet handles, light switches, walls. Ultimately, addiction moves from a bathroom to a bedroom. You're going to start to see it on bed sheets. So be very aware, very keen of these black soot marks. To the right of that, you see the Pepsi can. It's not a Pepsi can. It's actually a false bottom container or personal safe. If you hold it in your hand, unscrew the top, there's a huge void space in. You can store syringes, spoons, and a decent quantity of drugs. If you start to see a soda can or a beverage can around your kid's room for a week or a month, how long does a Coke can last in a teenager's room? Not long. Might be a time to start grabbing it, start tugging on it, and start twisting it around. In the back left rear, you see the Q-tip. It's missing an end of cotton. As I explained to you, the spoon is used for heating to dissolve all the insolubles. That cotton is placed directly into that liquid. The syringe needle is placed directly into that cotton, and the liquid is drawn up. The belief is from the 60s that that piece of cotton is going to filter out any impurities. It does nothing of the sort, can cause severe infections. What happens, though, that cotton is reused over and over again, begins to grow bacteria. At some point, it will be discarded. Again, like the knot from the shoe I told you, that indiscriminate packaging, mom found these little pieces of cotton, discolored pieces of cotton around their kids' bedrooms. Red flag indicator, be on the lookout for it. So then we can move up to the actual medicine cabinet. You'll see that the toothpaste container, the box, is in the cabinet. My point to you is if the toothpaste is on the counter, why is the cardboard box in the cabinet? It would be discarded as trash. It is a great, in its length and its structure and size, it's great for storing needles, spoons, and any other drug paraphernalia. So here we just ask you to kind of think outside the box. If the toothpaste is there, start getting into things, well, that should be discarded as trash. Below that, you see the over-the-counter medications. A very common side effect of both legal and illegal opioid use is constipation. So the kids said they would take a medication to help constipation, drink too much, and now they have diarrhea, so they need to buy anti-diarrhea medicine. And they told us they would drink a balance between these two medications to find balance in their system. What I tell parents is they're your child. Most of the time you would know if they have some ongoing digestive issue that they would need these. You would already know about it. You would probably be the one purchasing them. So if you start to see them show up, might be worth a question. Same way with nausea medicine. Again, another side effect of legal and illegal opiates is nausea. If you're starting to see that show up, don't know of an existing issue, they live in your house. If you don't know of an existing issue, it's worth a question. So we leave the bathroom and head over to the bedroom. If you look at the top of the bed, as I talked about IV injections, there's always a small amount of blood that leaves the injection site. And a lot of times, and very commonly, and this is one we got from parents, they started to see small blood stains on the bed sheets and the bed covers of their kids' beds. Be on the lookout for those. They're very important and very easy to spot. To the right, you see that black pen casing. That's a hollowed out pen casing, as I told you earlier, very, very commonly used to suck in vapors of heroin, fentanyl, or crushed prescription pills that are smoked. Very common for sucking in those vapors as they come off the foil. Below that is the red straw. A 2-inch piece of straw has absolutely no legitimate purpose. It is not the world's smallest drinking straw. It is used for snorting crushed prescription pills, heroin, fentanyl, methamphetamine, Molly, you name it. The problem is, as they snort powders, it develops moisture inside of the straw. Then the product begins to stick, so they have to discard it. Guess what? They cut a new piece. The discarded straws are another one that moms used to see all the time, had no clue what they were, and knew there was no justification for that 2-inch, and there is no 2-inch drinking straw. But again, the whole point of this course is so parents can speak from a position of strength and know what explanations are plausible and which are not. So then we go to the bedside table. On top, you'll see in the back right that pouch or compartment. These are called go kits or works kits. All kids that are IV injectors have them. When your kid leaves your house and is going to meet the local supplier, they're getting sick. The body is telling them they need to replenish with heroin, opioids, fentanyl, with whatever they're ingesting. This kit contains everything they need that they can't carry in 20 pockets. A lighter or torch, spoon, tourniquet, cotton, syringe, and the drug packaging themselves. Most kids we find in this country overdosed in cars or outside have one of these kits with them in some shape or form. Any personal compartment, pouch, zippered compartment your kid has that they are never without, I would suggest getting into it. On the back left, the alarm clock runs off electricity. On the bottom, it has a battery compartment, a backup. It doesn't need the battery to run. It's a free void space. Get into any electrical equipment your kid has, video game that has a battery backup, an open free compartment. The Dasani bottle water in the front. It's actually another personal safe. If you grab the top and the bottom, pull them apart, there's a large void space in there. You could hide syringes, spoons, anything, any kind of drug paraphernalia and drugs themselves in there. It's pretty tricky. It has water at the top and the bottom. Again, if you're seeing it around the room, hasn't been opened, but just moves around the room, it's worth taking a look at, tug on it, see what's in it. It might be water, but tug on it. It might just lay around the kid's room. The spoon you see in the front right, representative of a spoon used to heat substances for IV injection. And what you'll find, you'll see kind of either a white, tan, brown, gray residue on them. Usually you'll find a piece of cotton right in the center that they draw up into the syringe. On the bottom of that spoon, you're always going to find that black soot. So be very, very aware of those spoons. So from there, we go to the top of the dresser. On top of the dresser, and this is the most important part of the tour, in my opinion. If you go to the remnants or the packaging or the trash that are left behind, I cannot tell you in the packaging what you see here, cotton balls, the stamp bags, which are miniature sandwich bags, same premises which you put your sandwich in, but they're about the size of your fingernail. The top of those are torn off and discarded as trash. The knot we talked about earlier, this wax paper packaging, small folded pieces of paper that don't have love notes or phone numbers on them, very red flag indicators of drug use. And again, the most important part of the tour, because this is what parents told us they saw and they found every day. They're red flag indicators. So then if we go to behind the pictures, there's nothing behind these pictures. There's about a 1.5 to 2 inch void space between those and the wall though. And what's very important is you could put ounces of drugs, all kinds of paraphernalia behind there. And we ask you to think outside the box. Anywhere you can get your hand, a storage space, any void space, dressers, even the clean clothes, the shirts, get in between them. Look in between them. The socks that are folded, unball those socks. Great hiding spot. The dirty clothes hamper, who wants to dig through that? Not me, but guess what? That's the reason to go through the dirty clothes hamper, get into the pockets. Think outside the box. I leave you with this. I tell people throughout my police career that good policemen are nosy. I believe good parents are nosy. If you have those suspicions, take a look through your kid's room. You can be, you don't have to be obtrusive. You don't have to be a construction crew together to dismantle the kid's room. trash might be laying around right in front of you, very easy to spot. I hope this was helpful. Please encourage all of your friends, your associates with teenagers to view the video. Thank you to Rally Cares for the partnership, and I hope this was helpful.
Hello to the Lake County Opioid Initiative. I'm Congressman Brad Schneider and honored to be able to join this virtual meeting. I'm speaking to you today from my offices in Washington, D.C., as Congress is in session to vote on the fourth COVID response legislation, the HEROES Act. I know that the additional stresses of this pandemic are difficult for all of us, but there are distinct and particular stresses for many in the recovery community. Please know that I and my team remain ready and able to help. And I continue to advocate for resources and for support services. It's more critical than ever that we achieve parity for mental health coverage. And we pay a particular attention to the stressors facing our first responders and other frontline healthcare workers. Legislatively, we continue to build support for the Opioid Workforce Act. This is bipartisan legislation I introduced last year, funding 1,000 additional residency spots for addiction medicine and psychiatry. It successfully passed out of the Ways and Means Committee markup, and we hope to achieve a vote on the floor. On the constituent services front, our office is open for business. Though working remotely, our caseworkers are taking on new cases, and we continue to work with constituents on any issues they may have involving our federal government. I also want to highlight that much of the assistance passed by Congress for small businesses, such as the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP, is also available to small nonprofit organizations. And I am working to expand that to all nonprofits serving our community. I recently recorded a webinar with the Illinois SBA office to discuss the assistance available to nonprofits, and I encourage you to find it on our YouTube page, which is linked at schneider.house.gov. Please stay strong and stay safe, and please be in touch if we can be of any assistance.
Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Joshua Nathan, Behavioral Health Medical Director at the Lake County Health Department and Community Health Center, with a few announcements. Since the start of COVID-19, so many addiction services have been disrupted across the country. Residential programs have become particularly disrupted. Likewise, as you may know, our substance abuse residential services, ATP and WRS, unfortunately have been temporarily closed. But I do have some good news. First, we are pleased to say that our outpatient adult and youth services programs remain open. The adult substance abuse program, including medication-assisted treatment, is serving new and current clients. Our outpatient youth services program is also open to new and current clients. Secondly, we have added a substance abuse crisis line to our crisis care program to aid those in an addiction crisis. Thirdly, a Way Out program remains strong, with the case managers staying connected to clients and helping them to maintain their treatment and sobriety. And lastly, therapists in our primary care behavioral health program and our outpatient mental health centers continue to conduct substance abuse screenings, brief intervention, and referral to treatment, SBIRT. All services now are being delivered by telehealth, either phone or video, for everyone's protection. So let me wrap up by saying just how proud I am to be at the health department during this crisis. The health department has transformed and adapted and really risen to the occasion, despite tremendous adversity. I hope this message finds all of you healthy and safe and resilient during this unprecedented crisis.
Hey, Chief Gunther here with an update for the Way Out for the LCOI meeting. So since the whole COVID-19 issue has started, we've gotten nobody through the Way Out program. We've had a couple of inquiries, but haven't either been able to get in touch with them or we're not able to place them at the time. Inpatient beds are very slim right now. Some of them in the beginning weren't taking people because they didn't want to cross-infect their current population with people from outside. So it was very difficult. In addition, the health department had a lot of other issues at hand, as I'm sure you can understand. And so they were unable to devote any full-time resources to the program. The call center remained functioning and could be utilized, but a lot of us on the LCOI board got together and put together a temporary system where Mundaline The Sheriff's Department and Round Lake Park would be the only remaining operating hubs or entry points, if you will. And all the other PDs were to direct those people to us so that we could continue to hopefully assist them. And then we were going to utilize Karen for placement. But for some reason or another, again, the numbers are way down, no contacts, very limited contacts in the last 5-6 weeks. So hopefully, we start getting some use of the program, because I know the issue isn't going away, but hopefully we get some use of the program as the restrictions begin to relax. That is all I have as a report for today.
Hi, I'm Andy Duran from LEAD, and I was asked to give a text-to-tip report. Not surprisingly, in the time of COVID-19, we have seen a significant increase in text-to-tip volume, including from our home communities here in Lake County. Since last year this time, we've seen about 120% increase in total volume system-wide. Just since January, we've seen a 55% increase. Those texts really started as the COVID-19 pandemic became a reality here in the United States, and students, obviously, anxiety and things like that have been much increased during that time. In fact, from one school alone, we had 100 texts in one day, 100 texters in one day, concerned about COVID-19. So we have continued to staff the line appropriately in response to the volume, and we're servicing texts in 2 or 3 minutes as usual. So I'll have a full report coming out later this month that I'll make sure I send to the membership. But thank you for your continued support. I will say, in addition to that, last week alone, we had 2 active rescues, including one here in Lake County from a suicide attempt. So text-to-tip is working, and thank you for supporting it. And thanks to all of you for just continuing to work with LEAD to get this out there. Thanks for all you're doing. I hope you and your families are staying healthy.
Hi, Dana Dingman here with the Lake County Coroner's Office. So I wanted to start off by giving you a background in how tirelessly our office is working. Our toxicologist was nice enough to provide us with averages of number of calls that we've been taking for the month of April. April of 2015 through 2019, we averaged around 401 calls for the month. In April of 2020, we received 602 death calls for the month. So we have received 50.1% higher call volume April of 2020 than we have in previous Aprils in prior years. Previous months have showed that we were up 48.6% higher call volume than past years as well. A deputy takes an average of 13 calls per day in a 24-hour on-call period, but April of 2020 averaged around 20 calls per day. And as a deputy, I know that I have definitely taken more than 20 calls in a 24-hour period before. So on to drug stats, I completed a graph which shows a comparison between 2018 to 2020 from January to May. Please understand that we do have at least 10 pending cases. I believe 1 each in the month of January, February, and March, 4 from April, and 3 at least from May right now. So just by my observations, it looks like cocaine is on the rise again, whether it's by itself or in a combination with something or another drug. We are definitely seeing more fentanyl cases as well than last year. And so going on to numbers now, we have 33 confirmed cases right now. And we are 43.5% up above the number that we had last year at this time. 27 out of the 33 are opioid cases. 3 of them have naloxone in his or her system, and 10 pending cases. So if anyone has any questions about these drug stats, please email me directly at ddingman at lakecountyil.gov, or you can contact me at our office, and that phone number is 847-377-2200. Thanks for listening, and can't wait to see everyone.
Hey everyone, it's Anna with Live for Lolly. Wanted to give you guys a quick update about our services. Our Stigma Crusher truck cannot be out on the streets, unfortunately. So what we're doing to distribute harm reduction supplies is door drops. So if a person is in need of supplies or naloxone, we ask that they contact us via our cell phone or email, and we can then communicate with them on where they would like us to meet them, where they would like us to drop off supplies, and we can go ahead and do that. If they need any naloxone training, we can do that at that time when we meet them in person, or we can set up an online training to do it via GoToMeeting. So if you know anybody that needs any supplies, any naloxone, any training, please reach out to us. Please give them our number. Please give them my email. My email is Anna, A-N-A, @liveforlolly.org. And our cell phone number is 224-297-4393. Thanks.
Substance abuse treatment experts tell us the pandemic is having a troubling effect on recovering drug users, an increase in overdoses.
NBC5's Christian Farr shows us how a suburban sheriff's office is fighting back in a new way.
Its brand name is Narcan, but it is also commonly known as naloxone, a nasal spray that can help reverse an opioid overdose. And in DuPage County, it is available for curbside pickup.
When the COVID stay-at-home order started, we moved our Narcan delivery to a curbside model. And the purpose of that was to make sure we had accessibility for both first responders and the community members.
Those interested need to fill out an online form and then can request where they can pick up the Narcan.
We really need to make sure that we're giving options to people to seek the help that they need, even with the restrictions that we're living under.
A joint opioid task force between the county health department and the county board are leading the way with this initiative. And substance abuse experts say it is needed because they say overdoses and relapses have been on the rise since the pandemic began.
Services are limited and people are having difficulty accessing the social support they need.
The nonprofit Live for Lolly, which also helps those dealing with addiction, applauds DuPage County's curbside pickup, and the pandemic has also stepped up their efforts to hand deliver naloxone for those who need it.
We know that when we spend more money on these type of preventive efforts, we save lives and we reduce costs of treatment.
Substance abuse experts not only applaud what DuPage County is doing, They're also hoping that this curbside pickup will influence other counties in Illinois to do the same.
Without this medication to help revive them or reverse that overdose is the difference between life and death.
Christian Farr, NBC5 News.
Hi, this is Andy Duran from LEAD here in Lake Forest. Wanted to give a couple updates on things that LEAD has been up to and has coming up the next couple weeks to support you and your organizations and your communities during this time. We're continuing our drug prevention education programming. Much of that has been obviously moved to remote format. So, if you're a school teacher or administrator or someone that works in a school or with students and you're looking for some drug prevention resources, we do have some voiceover slideshows. We have a Kahoot, which is a kind of quiz game style mobile app that we have a vaping and marijuana presentation for. That's been very valuable to some places, and we will also happily zoom into a health class or to really any class to interact with students. In fact, this week we're doing that with students in a couple different middle schools. So if we can support you in your prevention education or remote learning in some way with your students, please don't hesitate to let us know. In addition, this is kind of outside of LEAD's typical scope, but we were partnered with the Archdiocese of Chicago. We actually built their phone prayer line called A Call to Prayer. You can find more information on the Archdiocese of Chicago website. We built that phone system for them. We also rebuilt the back end of the Catholic Charities counseling line. Our counselors here at LEAD are not staffing that line, but we did use our system and our technical skill to put that new counseling line together that I know is being used all through the city and the suburbs all throughout the day. So a couple things we've been involved in, a couple things coming up on May 21st, I believe at 2 p.m., but I'll make sure I put the flyer in the notes here. We're doing an Ask Us Anything event where parents are able to log into Zoom and do a just brainstorm and get questions answered from live mental health professionals. Some more information to come on that. And then sometime probably late May, early June, we're actually going to do a couple of Zoom webinars on what is the prevention field going to look like after COVID-19. So a brainstorming session for people across the country who are doing some of the work that we're doing here at LCOI and some of the work that we're doing here at LEAD. Anybody's invited to participate, to log in up to 100 at a time and just brainstorm so we're all in this together and we can learn from one another. So more information to come on that as well, and we look forward to seeing you guys in person soon. Thanks and stay healthy.
Hi everyone, this is Kevin Mackey from Athletico Physical Therapy. I just wanted to give everyone a quick debrief regarding Athletico. We have been deemed essential healthcare providers throughout this entire duration of the COVID-19 pandemic. So we have been open for both in-clinic as well as telemedicine visits. So if you have anyone who may be suffering from pain, we're happy to utilize physical therapy to get them back to doing what they want to do in a pain-free way. Aside from that, a few other quick notes. We have partnered with Safe Project USA and doTERRA to offer a free charcoal disposal kit to anyone who needs it. All of our social media channels are sharing links for that. We had to put a pause on our letter of understanding and formal relationship with Raleigh, but once we are in the clear with that, we hope to formally become partners as well as look for opportunities in some of the other states in which we operate. And then finally, we continue to participate with the Lake County Opioid Initiative in terms of displaying collateral both for patients to read as well as take with them, and then having charcoal disposal bags available at all of our clinics in Lake County for easy access to our patients. Hope everyone's doing well, stay safe and healthy, and looking forward to seeing everyone at our next in-person meeting.
Hello, community partners. Dr. Mary Roberson from the Northern Illinois Recovery Community Organization, also known as NERCO. NERCO is pleased to announce that we are hosting all recovery support meetings via Zoom on Mondays at 7 p.m. and Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Please feel free to contact me for those details. Also, NERCO is a drug overdose prevention program that will be providing Narcan trainings virtually as well. Contact me regarding that information at NIRCOARCO20 gmail.com. Thank you.
CYN Counseling Center and Advocate Aurora have collaborated to provide you an upcoming webinar in Spanish on the possible effects of COVID-19 on our mental health. Some tips for lessening these effects and how to know when and where to seek help.
The two responsible for organizing the webinars are Suzanne Martinez, Congregational Outreach Coordinator for the Office for the Mission and Spiritual Care for Advocate Aurora, Good Shepherd, Condell Medical Center, and Sherman Hospitals and Hispanic Liaison, Gail Weil, LCSW CADC Executive Director at CYN Counseling Center.
Hi everyone, I'm Cindy DeMarco, COO of Lake Behavioral Hospital. We're really excited to let you know that our new 146-bed facility will be opening in just a few weeks in Waukegan. Please give us a call at 855-990-1900 to schedule either a virtual tour or an in-person socially distanced tour. Thanks and stay well.
Hi everyone. The College of Lake County is in a remote work level of operation. We are just wrapping up the spring semester in alternative delivery mode with a no student can fail philosophy and lots of supportive help. The summer session will be held in 3 formats: online anytime, the traditional asynchronous online class, Zoom online, which are synchronous classes, and a late starting 5-week summer boost session for classes that require an in-person component, think culinary classes. CLC has been providing technology such as computers, cameras, hotspots, and other devices to students to bridge the technology gap. In addition, emergency cash grants are now available to CLC students who need financial help to keep their education on track. Those who've been negatively impacted by COVID-19 can apply for a Lancers Keep Learning grant. This is up to $1,500 to cover critical basic needs like food, housing, utilities, cell phone, course materials, technology costs, tools, things that help them to continue to learn from home, even assistance with healthcare and/or childcare. It's an easy online form to apply, and everyone will receive a response within 2 business days. Please encourage people you know to apply if they need that. A final decision on fall semester has not yet been made, but the college leadership team is currently in discussions. Lastly, regarding my department, Human Services and Social Work, we are currently struggling to meet the needs of our practicum students due to the stay-at-home order and CLC's decision to not allow students to be in on-site clinical programs. Also, many agencies will not permit students to participate in on-site or even telehealth provision of services. I submitted a detailed proposal to the administration at CLC regarding students who want to return to their agencies. I am hopeful that with all of the protocols I have proposed, they will say yes, and I will be able to begin working with the agencies on admitting our students again. I ask that anyone who wants to partner with us or has ideas to help our students to meet their internship hours, please reach out to me, jmason@clcillinois.edu. Thank you. I hope you are all staying safe. I miss you.
So you probably noticed almost immediately that I'm not Martin Clancy. Martin's much better looking than me. Doesn't have something like this on his chin, and is probably dressed better as well. He had some technical issues, and unfortunately he wasn't able to produce a video, but he did have a script and he asked me to read it for you. And I will, because he mentions me in the first sentence, so right off the bat he was on my good side. So here it goes. Good morning, LCOI. I'd like to start off by thanking Bill for taking on this project. I know I personally look forward to seeing the finished product. Oh, I bet you he does. As I'm sure someone before me has said, LCOI's work has become even more important in this time of the COVID-19 pandemic. We know the lives of the people we were serving have gotten much more complicated and in turn much more risky. We also know that even more of our neighbors are turning to substances in these stressful times. For so many people, it's coming down to hanging on and that's where harm reduction plays an important role. I'm happy to report that Laura Fry of Live for Lolly and I continue to move Lake County's 2 primary harm reduction teams forward. The Lake County Health Department continues to operate its need-to-know office out of our Belvedere clinic, where people can still pick up safe supplies, including fentanyl test strips, naloxone, syringes, and the like. Also, our SAP clinic remains servicing both our existing medically assisted recovery clients and new clients hoping to get started in a program. Counselors, nurses, and doctors remain available. My overdose prevention efforts have shifted to a number of specific efforts. We are providing naloxone kits to nearly 500 methadone clients from both the health department and the GEM and Mathers clinics. We are providing naloxone kits through PADS to their homeless population, and we are providing naloxone kits to the jail for released inmates. Over at Live for Lolly, Laura is directing her team to fill requests for safe supplies, naloxone, and especially fentanyl testing strips through door drops in the mail. All supplies are wiped down with commercial-grade antibacterial, antiviral wipes prior to being put in a bag. Due to the times, they are doubling up the supplies people are asking for. Requests are coming in by way of the website and their cell. Laura is working on the details and logistics of how Live for Lolly can reintroduce its mobile unit into the community. The plan is to be back in both McHenry County and the North Chicago, Waukegan area within the next 2 weeks. On that note, Laura is looking for donations of masks to give out to participants. If anyone has any leads on where to get them, please reach out to her. And of course, Live for Lolly continues to lead the way in trainings and peer support meetings. Their list offerings, such as Smart Recovery, Grief, Angel Moms, all those are available on their website. Laura has also asked me to mention a disturbing trend she sees participants that are really starting to struggle with isolation, and many are experiencing a reoccurrence of their disease. Please remember to practice physical distancing, not social distancing. We must stay socially connected throughout this. Community building, togetherness, and emotional connections are imperative for our mental health. That's all I got, would have said Martin. Everybody say, stay smart. Thanks.